Hmm. 3 different companies, 3 different recipes. So this is Mitsia Cider Pear, Zone Typhoon, and Kalpis Soda Pear. What's with the jumble, you say? Well, it's pear season, and they're all pear flavored. Since there are 3 different drinks from 3 different companies, I'll pare down their intros. Get it? Okay, so Mitsia Cider, they've been around since 1884, so they're pretty old school, I guess. And while a Westerner will be sadly greeted with something that got lost in translation, thinking this is a cider, think of a cider in Japan as more of a 7-Up or a Sprite, something that's well carbonated, sugary, maybe with a hint of lemon. Including the OG, they have a lot of fruit flavor combinations. Yeah, okay. Then you have Zone. They are an energy drink company similar to Red Bull or maybe Monster. They sponsor the same kind of extreme sports, but Zone and Monster have more fruity combinations compared to Red Bull with their Red Bull flavor. They at least iterate on most of their drinks, giving them a version number, although I don't see one on this one, so maybe it's a one-off. Whatever new formulation they can give it, they bump up the version numbers. It's usually just adding more caffeine or what other ingredient there is. And then we have Kalpis, better known in the West as Calpico, to disassociate itself from cow urine. It's also another long-of-the-tooth drink company. They have seasonal variants that come with varying concentrations, whether that be really thick or very thin ones, and whether that be a flat type or a soda. So with my limited knowledge of botany, there are 2 different groups of pears that I can get my hands on in Japan. One is the Asian pear. Tastes less of pear, has like a crispness or a crunchiness that you might find out of a really good apple. Pretty high water content, and I don't know, the flesh feels kind of pebbly, and it crumbles and crunches similar to an apple. Your teeth don't go through it. It really feels like applesauce after a while. And because it has such a high water content, I think the pear flavor kind of gets diluted, if you will. And then you have pears of the West. So much so that they don't call them just pears. They call them either Western pears or La France in Japan. Unlike Asian pears, I don't know how much I have to explain what a pear tastes like, but it's not crunchy. You eat it when it's a little bit more ripe. It has a mouthfeel similar to maybe a peach. But it also has it's not crunchy like an Asian pear. It has like this jammy silkiness, if you will. I'm not a big fan of Asian pears because they remind me of another fruit that I don't particularly care for, apples. Now, since I got 3 guys up here, I'm just gonna flash their ingredients and caloric information on screen. Compared to the other 2, I'm assuming Zone is going to be really long. One little thing that I should probably point out is that calorically, if I actually drank all 3 of these to fruition, they come out to almost 800 calories, which is almost 700 calories, I think. Yeah, and that's kind of nuts. Just in fluids. All right. Well, anyway, starting off with the pear Mitsuya cider. Nice scent of pear in the air, if you will. I'm just gonna pour all these first. His own Typhoon. And Kalpis. Please don't explode. Okay. So this looks lightly carbonated. This looks pretty carbonated, and same with this guy too. I am getting like an overall odor or scent of pear filling up the room. Western pear, because they all use Western pears. I think I splashed that on the screen, but yeah, Western pear. There you go, and apples. So okay, first off, this guy. Bottoms up. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna bring it up again because I probably showed this on screen. So you know how I mentioned how pears have like that silkiness to their flavoring, I guess. Well, this really captures it very well. It has that like pear or peach-like mouthfeel, if you will. Unfortunately, they recaptured it by using xanthan gum. Yeah, it's a thickening agent. I mean, yeah, use what you can, I guess. Next up is Typhoon. It tastes a lot like that guy, but more chemically. Yeah, I'm getting a strange chemical aftertaste. On its own, this wouldn't be bad, but next to this guy, it's a poor facsimile. Okay, this guy now. What the? Okay, so I'm not getting any pear. Oh, well, now I'm getting some pear, but I don't know what the... Okay, so this uses less than 10% fruit juice, right? From the puree of a Western pear. This guy uses 12% fruit juice from both apples and pears, or Western pears. And this guy, on the other hand, uses 1%. And I think I'm tasting the difference. This, if you look at these probably have, whatever content is, a discernible amount of content is fruit juice. But this guy is not. It's just not there. It's, a tenth of these guys. And you can actually taste the difference. I mean, I'd say this tastes like more like Calpis soda. And someone just kind of bumped a little bit of pear juice in it. If I have to give this a ranking, it would be exactly in that ranking in the order that I drank it. This one, I'm not a big fan of Mitsuya cider because their stuff. What part of that is cider? But this isn't that bad at all. This has a unfortunate chemical aftertaste, especially when drank after this guy. And this guy, I don't know, man. You guys need to put a little bit more Western pear in it. Okay. Got a little long. I don't know if you can find any of these. Maybe the Zone might be able to get it, but yeah, if you can find them, I recommend this guy. Yeah, and if you need a lot of caffeine with your pear, and this, if it disappears this season, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay. That's all for now, and until next time, the drink's on me.